Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in again for a new episode of Vocals on Stage. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about breath support and how to breathe for singing and for speech. My name is Radina, I'm a vocal coach and a singer, and in today's episode, we're going to look at our air support, how to breathe and how to breathe for singing. I always thought that breathing is the most normal thing, so everybody can do it. What's there to learn anyways? And boy, was I wrong. When I was a teenager, I was introduced to something called diaphragmatic breathing, and this is when I started taking singing lessons and I learned this technique, and I will show you guys how to do it in a second, but I remember that it was like completely different from the way I was breathing before. And it wasn't until it became a habit for me that I started applying it also in my speech and also in my singing. So don't get frustrated if in the beginning you are kind of struggling through it. It just takes time, and be patient with it and just try it out. Most of the times when people tell me that they have the feeling that they're running out of air when they sing or that they don't have enough air, I actually tell them that they should exhale more. When we feel like we're running out of air, it's actually that we hold all the air inside our body. And you can test that for yourself. I want you to just inhale and try to speak and say a phrase without exhaling. So you're just gonna inhale, hold your breath, and then try to speak without any air. I'm gonna try that as well. All right, now I'm gonna try to hold my breath, and I'm having all this air inside, but actually I already feel like I need to grasp for air because I'm running out of air, and I'm like, oh. For a second there, I fainted. There are a couple of ways that you can breathe, and for singing, I recommend diaphragmatic breathing and also engaging your intercostal muscles, the muscles that are between the rib cage, and also the abdominal and oblique muscles. These are the muscles that you can actively engage. So I want you guys to just see it from the side, and you're gonna put one hand here where the belly is, or your belt would be, and you're just gonna put one hand here. And I want you just to think as if you have a bowl there, and you're gonna inhale into that bowl. Yeah, so let that belly out. I'm letting it out right now on camera as we speak. So inhale. And then when you exhale, I want you just to exhale for 15 seconds if you can. And you can make just a little bit of sound on a tss. Ready? And inhale. Until all the air is out. So you kind of just press out the air at the end. And you probably notice that in the beginning when you do that, just by the forces of recoil, the air rushes out. But at some point, if you want to have an even airflow, you will actually engage the side muscles, the abdominal muscles and the oblique muscles. And that's the kind of feeling that we want to have when we support for singing. It's not so much that we want to send out a big column of air. It's more that we want to have a consistent, steady airflow. When we start singing higher, when we start singing with more volume, we definitely want to make sure the air rushes out faster. And I always like to think of it as if I have a balloon in my belly, and then I start applying pressure on the outer wall of that balloon. Yeah? So you can try that for yourself. Try this once in a regular speed, and then engage your oblique and abdominal muscles and press the air out faster. Kind of like and one more time, so you start slow and then you speed it up. Observe when you breathe, maybe do this with a mirror, is that your chest doesn't move up. So you don't want to inhale like that. That causes us to actually raise our shoulders, look up, all these things that are not really supportive. You will feel the rib cage moving, but just very, very subtle. All of it mostly happens right here. And this is also where the diaphragm sits, yeah? And I like to think of the breath being even lower than that, yeah? The diaphragm is a passive muscle. So you will feel it moving, but it's not so much, okay, now start engaging your diaphragm, yeah? And the diaphragm helps us when we are using that force of recoil that I talked about earlier, but when we actively want to support the air, we are using those side muscles and the abdominal muscles and the oblique muscles. This is the kind of feeling that you want to have when you inhale or exhale for singing as well. Again, making sure that your shoulders are not lifting up and picturing that bowl, that balloon in your belly that's expanding. And when you exhale, it's slowly applying pressure. If you cannot find it at all, I found it very helpful just to lay down flat on your back and then try to inhale into your belly. And somehow, because of gravity, it's going to be easier for you to feel that movement of your belly when you're laying on your back, so you can try it there and then do it a couple of times throughout the day. The more you do it, of course, the better, the more it will get into your system, the more it will become a habit, so that when you sing songs, it's automatic and you don't have to think about it. I hope you enjoyed these tips on breathing and air support for singing. If you have any questions, please comment below or send an email to contact@vocals-on-stage.com.